Hello, welcome to Yoga Flow. Today we are going to focus on the fifth chakra, which is the throat chakra right here, which can be very vulnerable to a lot of people. This is the chakra that's all about communication, being heard, your voice, all of that kind of stuff comes from here. So we'll do different affirmations today along those lines. There's also some bigger poses when you're working with the throat chakra. So just letting you know, this practice will include the shoulder stand series and fish. If fish, modified fish, any part of the shoulder stand series, I will give you a modified shoulder stand if you need that. Doesn't work for you, just let it be an opportunity to rest or an early shavasana, something like that. It's not a big deal. It's just your practice. They're there for the people who want to work deeper into that area. So shoulders are included in this chakra a little bit, kind of as you travel up from the heart chakra. So you have shoulders in both the heart and the throat. So we will open shoulders here. That's what the strap is for. So I'm just going to we'll start with that in a moment, have that forward. Block, at least one can be helpful if you're going to do modified shoulder stand today. I'll show you some different options with a folded blanket if you don't have that. But that being said, let's get into it. So finding a nice comfortable seat, lengthening the spine from crown to tail. And as I sit here for a moment, I'm going to close my eyes. Now the color of the fifth chakra, some people just say blue. Some people would say it's a lighter blue, like a sky blue. I like to think of it more as a UK University of Kentucky Wildcat blue if you're from Lexington, Kentucky, or more of a royal blue, something like that. And then from here, let's take those fingers out to the side, palms turning up. Inhale, reach, 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 and lengthen. Looking up there. Exhale, hands to heart center. So you've got the color. You've got the area that you can turn your focus to. So this is communication, all about communication, lining up with your integrity, your actions, your values. And then from here, we'll take those hands back up, turning palms away, grow taller from crown to tail. And we're going to come into a Ujjayi pranayama here. So this is that back of the throat constriction. Some people call it the Darth Vader breath, the ocean breath. So we'll go through that real quick. So there's 3 ways you can practice it based on where you are in your practice. The way that most people start is on exhale only. So if you're exhaling, your mouth is still closed, but you're thinking of a ha, a sound, but you're forcing that air and sound to come out through the nose. So hopefully my mics are working a little bit so you can pick this up. So it sounds like this. And then on the exhale. Also on that exhale, I'm taking my belly button a little bit closer into the spine. So I'm engaging here and I'm engaging right here. So that option 1, your inhale, exhale, ha sound through the nose. Okay. The second one is through the inhale only, which is an a sound like an ah. And this is the one that kind of sometimes, if you have a tendency to snore, that sound might come out through here on that one. So it sounds like this. Good. And then when you put that with the exhale, it sounds like the ocean. Good. So we'll take a few rounds, just the inhale, just the exhale, or inhale and exhale together. I cannot talk and do Ujjayi breath at the same time. So I'm just going to be silent here, but practice, kind of know that sound. So inhaling. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Feel free to bring that in at any point in your practice. This is for the throat chakra, but it also activates, is a good one for that third chakra, the Manipura, that solar plexus chakra as well. Okay, from here, big inhale and reach. Exhale, let's take a nice side bend over, reaching over, breathing and expanding, and then you choose where you want to go here. You can stay here, you can side bend deeper, you can choose to open up to the back, you can wiggle around here, finding your optimal spot. Look where you're going, if that's where you're going, or you can take the C curve roll. So starting here, I'm going to rock my pelvis back a little bit. I'm scooping in my belly button. Good. And so I'm going to round and take my forehead towards this knee, but it's not touching. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale, engage. Take that right to the other side and reaching over. Sits bones are grounded. And then you choose. Staying here, side bending deeper. You can open towards the back, wiggling around, finding an optimal spot, or take it back to center. Belly button is in, rounding, see curving, forehead in the direction of that knee, but not touching. Good. Inhale and lengthen, coming back, and reach, reach, reach. Good. Gentle twist to the left. Arms are going to come down. Roll the shoulders back. Good. Turn and look behind you. So even activating that throat chakra area right here, right in the beginning. Inhale, lift. Exhale, center. Inhale, exhale, other side. Arms coming down. Rolling shoulders back. Again, looking behind you. Good. And lift. And come back to center. Good. Now, let's take our strap. Now, we will be moving forward and back here. So if you've got like a buckle or something like that that you don't want to accidentally hit you in the face, just kind of hold the end of that strap so that doesn't happen. But I'm threading through pointer and thumb. We're nice and taut here, and we're going to come up, and we'll come back just a little bit, and then come back forward. And I'm going to do this sideways here just so that you can see a little bit better. Good. And we'll come up again, maybe a little bit more this time. Try not to pop the chest forward. Good. And taking that back. And again. So as you come back, you want your arms to be long. So if you're bending the elbows as you're coming back, take a wider grip on your strap or your belt or band, whatever it is you're using. And then from here, just move that forward and back. Try to find your full range of motion. Being mindful as you go back as to where your maximum stretch is. So I can take this all the way back to the tops of my hip, but that's not where my maximum stretch is. It's somewhere in the middle. Good. And then from here, the next time you come back, find your maximum stretch and hold there for a moment. Good. And then from here, we'll come up and release. I'm going to put this to the side. Actually, I'll probably put it up here. We're going to come back to that in the flow part of the practice in the moment for people who can't comfortably bind back here. But I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to clasp my hands. I'm going to press away, and I'm just going to round, get a nice separation of the shoulder blade. Good. And then coming back. Good. Palms are out, palms turned behind. I'm just going to let those hands set right on the top of my hip. And I'm just going to press my elbows and shoulders back a little bit here. Good. And then release. So then from here, take those hands out to the side, find rotation. Good. Palms up, hands to shoulders. We'll move forward and back. Good. Now you can choose here Just stay with this, or you can take it in the chicken wings, just lifting up and down. You can stay here or take this into some shoulder circles. And then reverse that circle. Good. So let's go in through a few little movements here of the scapula, because that's really important to how we're doing the class. So let's go into elevation and depression. Elevation, depression. Elevation, depression. Elevation, depression. Elevation, depression. Protraction and retraction. Let's do this just like we would be if we were on the floor. So let's take our hands this way. Good. Protraction, retraction. Protraction, retraction. Protraction, retraction. Protraction, retraction. Good. Get any little movement here that feels good to your body, maybe a wrist roll, spinal roll, some neck rolls or stretches. And then when you're ready, good, we're going to come to all fours. Now I'm going to bring my blanket in here because my knees need that today. If you do not have a little cushion, a blanket, even a bath towel will also work. You can also fold the back part of your mat up. Good, that gives you a double layer. Folding that again, maybe, let me do that right. Good, we'll give you a quadruple layer. So depending on the surface where you're practicing will kind of depend on your body's needs. You can do the same thing with the wrists as well. So knees are going to be under the hips. They can be slightly wider than the hips if you've got a cranky back, but spreading the fingers nice and wide. I'm rooting through the knuckles of the pinky, pointer, and thumb. My shoulders are over or slightly behind my wrists here. My belly button is in. Let's take this into some nice cat cows. So inhale, chest comes forward. We're looking forward, pelvis tilts back. Exhale, press away and round. Gaze is towards the thigh. Protract, push that mat away from you. Inhale, find that nice cow pose. Exhale into cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Now, as you take a few rounds, we'll come to our first little affirmation. I have the right to be heard. I have the right to be heard. So repeat that to yourself. You have the right to be heard. Good. And then we'll come here to tabletop. So let's take this into sternum drop. So this is similar to what we just did when we were seated, but you'll feel it a little bit better here. Good. So right now I'm protracted. I'm pressing away. Retract. Protract. Retract. Protract. Retract. Protract. Retract. Good. Now take this back to child's pose. Knees can be together as wide as the mat or somewhere in between. Arms can come long in front of you, or hands can come back here. You can let the shoulders drop. Forehead can come to the floor if you can reach it there. Belly button is in. Breathe and expand that rib cage. You can bring in that Ujjayi Pranayama here. Good. Let's take it up just a little bit. Walk those hands over towards the right. Walk the left fingertips forward. I'm going to lift my hips. I'm going to press into my right hand. I'm going to sink those hips towards the left. Breathe and expand. And coming up and back to center, half or full child pose here, you choose. And we'll come back up, walking those hands over to the left, walk those right fingertips forward, lift the hip, press into the left hand, sink towards the right side. Breathe into the stretch. And coming up and coming back. Good. One more time with a nice resetting child pose. And then when you're ready, we're going to come to thread the needle here real quick and then come up and start our flow. So we're going to take this into a flow. So I'm going to start right arm. I'm going to come up, hips stay over the knees. Good. And I'm going to scoop and open and scoop and open, scoop, take it all the way through. Remember, top of the head only here. Ear shouldn't touch the floor. There's nothing on the floor that the ear needs to listen to. Use your left hand and shoulder to help support you here. Also gives you a little bit of a better twist here as well. And then from here, pressing through and coming up. Good. Get any little movement to kind of reset there that you need. And then we'll take that to the other side. The left arm comes up and we'll scoop. And open and scoop. And open and scoop. Taking that through. Long spine, long from crown to tail. Use that right hand and shoulder to help you with your alignment here. Breathe and expand. And when you're ready, get pressing through, coming back up. Again, get any little movement that would feel good to you. Otherwise, let's come into down dog. So if you're taller, take a half a hand's width or full hand's width forward. If you're shorter, stay where you are. I'm going to tuck my toes. My fingers are still spread wide, and I'm pressing in and forward into my mat as I shift back. Good. I'm going to continue to press in and forward into my mat as I let my knees lift and my hips come towards the ceiling. I'll move that blanket out of the way. Good. Now from here, take any little movements, just walking your dog, maybe bending one knee, lengthening the other, come high on the toes, dropping the heel. Good. Now from here, take some stillness and find your good down dog form. So I'm pressing evenly into big toe and pinky toe mounds. Hips, knees, and toes are relative in good alignment. I'm pressing in and forward into the mat. I'm protracting my shoulders here, so I'm pushing away. Good. And I'm turning my elbows more towards my pointer or middle finger. My head and neck is free, so my ears are by my biceps. Excellent place to practice that Ujjayi pranayama here. And when you're ready, inhale, look forward, bend the knees. Walk or step the feet forward to meet your hands. Bring a block or two in here if you can't touch the floor very well, or just need extra support for today. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Hands to block, floor, shins or thighs, long spine. Exhale and we'll bow. We'll do that again. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale and we'll bow. Inhale, root through the feet, engage the glutes. Knees can be bent, but long spine as you rise. Good. Exhale, hands to heart center. Finding breath, mountain, intention. All right, let's go right into those sun salute A's. Good, getting nice and warm. If you're got a back issue or something like that today, or newer to practice, keep your feet hip width apart. Practice with me. They can be closer together if you're not new and don't have any issues. Big inhale and reach. Exhale and we'll fold. It's okay to bend the knees as you come down. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway, long spine. Exhale and we'll bow. Inhale, plant the hands, step or hop back to plank. Hold this plank for a moment. Knees can be lifted or grounded. Chest can come forward, finding a little bit more length. You're protracted here again. Let's all take the knees down on this first one. Turn the elbows forward. Elbows come straight back. Try not to collapse through those shoulders as you come down. Belly button is in, lengthening the legs just a little bit, but keep them grounded on the floor. Inhale, exhale, maybe finding a baby cobra, a medium cobra, a high cobra. Careful not to hang in the back or the shoulders. If you have it and want it, tuck the toes, find a full up dog. You're looking up. Good. And then when you're ready, good, we'll lower that back down. And wiggle, wiggle, wiggle again. Hands under the shoulders. Stronger, more experienced yogis can tuck the toes, push up in a plank, shift back down dog. Otherwise, follow me through tabletop and finding your downward facing dog. From down dog, when you're ready, inhale, look forward, bend the knees, walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, bow. Inhale, root through the feet, engage the glutes, long spine as we lift. Exhale, hands to heart center. We'll do a couple more A little bit quicker, you choose to take or skip the flow. Inhale and re-reach. Exhale and we'll fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, we'll bow. Inhale, step or hop back to plank. You choose, take or skip the flow. From that down dog, inhale, look forward, bend the knees. Walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, and we'll bow. Inhale, root through the feet, engage the glutes. Make the legs take the load, not the back as you rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. One more time. Inhale and we'll lift. Exhale and we'll fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, we'll bow. Inhale, step or hop back to plank. You choose, take or skip a flow. Good. And once you have found your downward facing dog, let's open the hips just a little bit here. This also works the upper body. So left leg's gonna lift 3 points. I'm gonna bend that knee. I'm gonna open to the left. So strong, even upper body. Head and neck are free. My gaze is to my right toe. You can hang out here. You can circle an ankle. You can circle a hip. You can open and close. Try not to let that left shoulder come up. And then when you're ready, good. Let's take that hip and knee back even. Inhale, exhale, round, step, or pick up and put that left foot forward between the hands. Good. Now, if you need help here for a moment, bring your block in. We're gonna do a little bind. So I'm gonna take my strap, and I'm just gonna put that right around the back of my neck here, so that I can concentrate on other things. Good. So you can do this with a grounded knee or a lifted knee. The lifted knee just gives you more balance to work with than grounded knee. But you choose what you need. And we're gonna come, find your crescent moon. Okay. So I'm up here. My back heel is not grounded. I'm pressing back through the heel, so I'm strong in this leg. My front heel is also grounded. My left hip is gonna come back just a little bit. And breathing. Good. Now from here, some of you may not need the strap because you can bind comfortably back here. And if that's you, then you can just drop your strap. Otherwise, you can take your hands on your strap, shoulder width apart or closer together. Good. You can press down and open up. You can stay there or you can lift. Good. This might be where you choose to stay, or with a long spine, maybe you come forward a little bit. So again, this can be done whether you're lifted or grounded. My gaze is to my back toes. Inhale, exhale. I'm gonna lift. I'm gonna release. I'm gonna lengthen as I take my path to the mat. Planting my hands, front foot steps back. You choose, take or skip your flow. So I do not take every flow that I choose. They're there for people who want them. Okay. And then from here, your right leg's gonna lift 3-point, bending that knee, opening up to the right, strong, even upper body. Find your good form, gaze is to the left toes. My right shoulder, I'm trying to keep grounded. You can stay here, you can circle an ankle, you can circle your hip, you can open and close. Find what feels good to your body in this moment. And then from here, when you're ready, good. We're gonna take the hip and the knee back even to the floor, round, step, or pick up and put that foot forward between the hands. You decide if you're gonna be grounded or lifted. I'm gonna grab my strap again. Good. And then when you're ready, good, with stability, we'll rise. Front hip's gonna come back. Zip up that front body, maybe find that Ujjayi pranayama here. Good. You're gonna use that strap for the bind. We'll take that. Good. Find the alignment with your hands that's best for you. Good. Press down, roll back, lift up if you can. You can choose to stay here or belly button in, leaning forward. My gaze is coming to my back toes. And when you're ready, good. We'll reach, release the strap, lifting up, lengthen as you take that path back to the mat. Plant the hands, front foot steps back, take or skip a flow. Good. So I have the right to be heard. My voice is important. I can speak up for myself. Say those things to yourself. From that downward facing dog, inhale, look forward, bend the knee, walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, roll out. Inhale, root, engage and rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. Finding your breath, maybe coming back to that royal blue color for the chakra. And when you're ready, we're going to take a new pattern here. So this pattern will include a dolphin pose. It will include triangle and some things like that. So you could get away totally with this in the beginning with one block. If you've got one block, I recommend having it on the left side to start. And then once we go to revolved half moon, maybe you have that more in the front. If you've got two, you can have one up here and one by the left leg. Just kind of be mindful as to where your blocks are according to your needs. So big inhale and reach. Exhale and we'll fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale and we'll bow. Inhale, plant the hands. Step or hop back to plank. You choose, take or skip a flow. And coming back to that down dog form when you're there. Coming back to that breath. Good. And on this one, we're going to drop the knees. We're going to set up for dolphin. So today, we're going to use a block with this dolphin. So I've got my block here. And what I'm going to do is I'm kind of making an L shape right around that block on both sides. So I'm kind of taking it right like that. Good. But my hands are going to be on the floor. Good. So here I am to start. Good. I'm going to bring my forearms and elbows down. And for some people, just working on protracting here might be all you need today, and that's okay. Otherwise, tuck the toes. Good. Press out of the shoulders. Lift up towards the ceiling. Now my gaze now is back towards my toes. Your shoulders can be over or behind the elbow. I'm still pressing them into the floor. Good. Now, if this feels good and you want to move on from here, you can walk in the pike. Okay. A little bit more pressure into the belly. And then more challenge, maybe lift a leg or two. Okay. So head does not touch the floor in dolphin. Okay. And then if you took the lifts, feet will come down. If you piked up, we'll take the feet back. Good. Based on how you need to get there for your body, knees might need to come down first. They might not have to. Find your downward facing dog. Okay. From your down dog, the left leg's going to lift 3 points, bending that knee. Round as you step or pick up and push that left foot forward between the hands. Use a block for stability if you need that. Warrior prepping that right hip, knee, and foot about 45 degrees-ish. And when you're ready, good, we're going to rise. Good. Setting up for warrior two. So my front hip is going to come back. I'm strong through that back leg. Hips are at an angle. I'm going to open my chest up and reach and look off the tip of that front middle finger. Being mindful, hip, knee, and toe here, track forward. So that foot should not be turning inward or outward. You should be able to see those toes. Back edge of the foot is grounded. If you need to lengthen that front knee in order to make that happen, I highly recommend it. With a bent front knee or lengthened front leg, find exalted. Look up there at that hand. Even if you're an arm wrapper or an arm binder, still look up, get into that throat. Good. Inhale, exhale, finding warrior two. What about I can speak my truth? I can speak my truth. And then from here, let's take that into a triangle. So lengthening that front leg. Good. Front hip's going to be back. Rooting in. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Long spine. Triangle is not a forward fold. When you lengthen, you can take a thigh, a shin, a block at any height. Outside if you're newer, inside if you're a little bit more advanced. And you can open up here. Look up there at that hand. Front hip is still back. So looking up at that hand stimulates that throat chakra. And looking down at that front foot. Putting a bend in that front knee, you can kind of cartwheel this down here and swivel up the back foot. So I'm going to bring in my second block here. Again, if you've only got one, take that forward just like that. But I'm going to come here and we're going to come into a grounded warrior 3. And if you need a couple hip or toe taps, then that's fine to do so. Good. So I'm just going to come here. I want that right hip to drop. So I want my right toes, knees, and hips to face the floor. Now, if you don't need blocks right now in Warrior 3 and you want to lift up into a full Warrior 3, go ahead and take that. Left hip, knee, and toe are tracking forward. Okay. Now, going into a revolved half moon, bring the hands down if you were lifted. I'm going to keep my right hand on my blocker to the floor. And then I'm going to keep my hip pointed towards the floor as I open towards my left. And I'm going to look as far as I can lift or look. Now, you can lift as much as you can lift, but look as much as you can look. You likely will not have a perfect stack here. I'm not sure if I've seen anybody do that. Good. And then from here, good, we'll come back down. Good. Reach that right leg back, plant the hands. Front foot steps back, take or skip a flow. Okay, now once you've flowed, bring your knees down. We're going to come onto the belly. Good. We're going to go into some locust here. If you're someone that needs to be careful with extension, be careful here because it's really easy to overdo it. If you know that you're going to do a bind back here in a moment, but can't quite reach or not reach comfortably, have your strap in place. Good. So number one, hands are going to come back by the hips. Palms can be up, facing the hips are down. You choose, legs are about hip width apart. And on this first one, the legs and the feet are going to stay grounded. They're not going to lift. So I'm zipping up from the pubic bone behind the navel, rolling shoulders back. Inhale, exhale, upper body only, looking up. And we'll take that down. Now, you can leave your arms here. You can bring them back forward if that feels better to you. This next one, lower body only lift, only the lower body. So belly button is in. Good. I'm lengthening a little bit, but not so much so they get a foot cramp. And then on an exhale, I'm just going to lift the lower body. And lower that down. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle those hips. If at any time you need a child's pose, press back and give yourself one. Good. So here's locust 1. Good. Taking hands back. Upper and lower body can lift together, or you can just choose one of the other options we just did. So zipping up, inhale, exhale, find yours. Good. Looking up, looking forward. Don't look down at the floor. And taking that down. Again, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Now, those of you that want to do that with a bind, good. Take your strap. And where you put your hands depends on your shoulders and your body. So some people like to be closer together. Some people like about shoulder width apart. I'm going to do shoulder width apart here today. So I'm going to press. Belly button is in. Rolling shoulders back. Good. Inhale. Exhale. I'm going to lift. Always engage that front body anytime you're doing any kind of extension or back bend. And we'll take that down and release. Hands under the shoulders. We'll all take a child's pose here. You can make it long. You can make it roundy. Find what feels good to you. Good. How about I live with authenticity and integrity? I live with authenticity and integrity. If you don't feel like you are, then ponder to yourself why you're not, and how you could go about fixing that. Good. And then coming back forward, finding your down dog, we're going to take that all to the other side. So from here, when you're ready, finding your down dog. Good. And then from here, right leg's going to lift 3 points, bending that knee, around, step or pick up and put that foot forward between the hands. Good. Warrior prep. I forgot to prep my blocks. So I'm just going to bring those over here. Good. All right. So from here, when you're ready, warrior prep that back foot. And when you're ready, rise, good, and open. Now, I'm going to come this way just so that my back is not to you. Good. So once you're up here, heel to heel, toe to arch, front hip's going to come back. Good. Hips are at an angle, open to the side, reach. As you open to the side, try to keep that in the torso. Try not to move the hip. Front hip is back. Looking over the front, middle finger. Belly button is in. Bring back that ujjayi if you can. And then you choose bent front knee or lengthened front leg. Find your exalted. Looking up there. So if you did a wrap or a bind at this point on the other side, find what you need. Inhale. Exhale, finding warrior two. Lengthening that front leg. Front hip's going to come back. Back hip's going to come forward, preparing for triangle. So lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. When you can come no more, take a thigh, take a shin, take a block, take the floor, opening up. Look up there at that hand. Find ujjayi if you can. It's a little bit trickier here. Good. Looking down at that front foot, putting a bend in that front knee. Good. Kind of cartwheeling down, swiveling up the back foot. So this is where we're going to go into that warrior three revolved half moon combo. So you can take your hands through your blocks forward. Good. Find it. Good. If you want to release from the floor and do a full warrior three, feel free to go there. Nothing wrong with that. The left hip is going to face the floor, as are the left toes. Good. And then from here, if you took lifted warrior three, bring those hands back down. Good. Left hand is going to stay on the block or to the floor. I'm going to open to the right. I'm looking to the right. I'm pressing into that heel of the right foot. Inhale. Exhale. Taking that down. Reaching that left foot back. You're in the right up runner. Good. Plant the hands. Front foot comes back. Go ahead and take or skip one more little flow here. That'll be the last flow of this class. And then when you're ready, bring down the knees. We're going to come back onto the belly. Now, just so that you can see better what I'm doing, we're going to go through the Ikabuja series. So you're going to see my knees bent back here because I've got a wall with how my camera is and everything. But you can take your legs long in front of you. That part will not matter. So don't worry about that part. Good. So I'm going to start with my left hand. I'm going to take it straight out to the left. Good. And then I'm going to walk my left fingertips up here. Let me move this. Move my left fingertips up where they're in line with my eyeball. My right hand can be kind of right in line with the shoulder or a little bit higher. And then I'm going to rotate towards the left, towards that outstretched hand. Okay. And you're going to go to where you can go. So pain, numbness, tingling, burning, never normal. You feel that you've gone too far? There are some people that can keep going here and come back and bind. I am not one of those people, but if you want to try it, make sure your palm is up here like this so that you can bind with it. And then when you're ready, carefully come back onto the belly. Good. And just take some little circles here. Good. In other directions. Good. So this hand is going to help you again. I'm going to come up a little bit. I'm taking my left thumb in my palm. I'm going to lift. I'm going to thread that left arm through. Kind of think about it as a thread the needle variation. Good. So I'm taking that through. Good. And coming down. You can take your left hand as a little bit of a chin stand here, or take that left arm long beside you. Just kind of be where you can be here. Some people can take their chin all the way to the floor. I'm not one of those people. And then when you're ready, good. We'll take that left hand, coming back up and shake this out. We're going to do that all to the other side now. Now my right arm is going to come straight out from the shoulder. I'm going to walk those right fingertips up, right in line with my eyeballs. Good. Left hand is going to help me as I roll to the right. Good. Now I've got more range on this side, so I'm going to keep going here. So you go where your body can let you go. And then when you're ready, good. We'll come back out of there, coming back onto the belly. Good. Just kind of work that out a little bit here. What about I am able to express myself and convey my needs. I am able to express myself and convey my needs. So now I'm going to take the left thumb and the left fist, lift up, take it through, good, and come down. Maybe a little chin stand, or that arm can be long beside you. Breathe. And when you're ready, good, release, coming up out of there. Yeah, and you can kind of shake that out. And the way that's best for your body, find yourself at a comfortable seat. Comfortable seat. So as I sit here, we're going to come into a Gomukhasana, a cow face pose. And we're going to do this with eagle arms here, just because that's the kind of stretch that I want to get in there. So I'm going to take my left leg, that's going to be the base. My right leg's going to be on top. Now, ideally, you want the knees to be in alignment. Mine are not. Here's one knee, here's the other knee. Do the best you can. Don't worry about what you can't do. You can also come to crisscross applesauce if that's where you are. So I've got my right leg on top. I'm going to take my arms out. Right arm is going to come on top. You can hug yourself here, or you can wrap here. Maybe lift up and down, maybe forward and back. Find your optimal spot. Zip everything up and into the midline. Remember, I have the right to be heard. My voice is important. I can speak up for myself. I am able to express myself and convey my needs. I live with authenticity and integrity. Good. And then we'll release, shaking that out. Let's switch inside. Good. And if at any time we do these, I don't always do it, but you can always do a little windshield wiper here. Always take the break that your body needs. So right leg's going to come in, left leg's going to come on top. So again, here's my top knee, here's my bottom knee. They are not in alignment. Don't force anything to happen that's not ready. Arms out. The left arm's going to come on top this time. You can hug yourself, or you can wrap. Find what you need here, moving up and down, forward and back. So I can speak my truth. My words are an honest reflection of what I believe. My words are an honest reflection of what I believe. If your words are not an honest reflection of what you believe, why not? Ponder that. Journal that. We need more authentic people in this world. When you're ready, release and shake that out, and we'll undo. We're going to come onto our backs now. So have a block handy, and if you have a folded blanket, you might have that handy too. I'm going to show you a different variation of something, but I'm going to take my ponytail out here so that I'm safe. Good. So as you come down here, good, we're just going to do a bridge. So those of you wear fish pose, or any kind of fish pose, this is what you'll come back to if that deep extension is not for you. So hips, knees, and toes are tracking, rolling shoulders back, pressing arms and shoulders into your mat as you press into the feet and lift the hips up. Now, if this feels lovely, you want to stay here, you want to work through a few of these, there's different variations you can do. Feel free. While I'm here, I'm going to grab my block. Good. You can use ranch house or townhouse setting. You place that block right under the sacrum, right under the tailbone. You want to avoid the lumbar. And you can also hang out here too. This also feels nice and lovely. So modified shoulder stand is right here, taking one leg up at a time. This is also a variation of legs up the wall. This also feels great if you're having a ladies' day. If you've got uncontrolled blood pressure and eye pressure issue, neck issue, I do not recommend moving beyond this point. Those of you that want to go into full shoulder stand, good. You can remove that block. We'll see if I can do it today. Good. And then from here, good. I'm going to come up. Good. Now, you want your elbows and your shoulders to be in alignment. I've got a few limitations in my shoulders, so I'm not quite there, but you want to go through there. You want your weight to be in the shoulders. So if you feel that bone at the base of the neck popping out, you've gone too far. For this, some of you are going to stay. Those of you that are going to go into plow, hinging from the hips, don't change anything else. Feet are going to come behind you. If your feet do not touch the floor, keep your hands on the hips. Moving on from plow, bending the knees, maybe they come by the ears, ear pressure pose. Now, if they come by the ears and you can touch your ears, squeeze into the ears. Good. And then from here, good, I'm going to come back to kind of plow, and then I'm going to gently roll out of here. Good. So always come out with control. You never want to just slam your bottom back into the floor. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Okay. Going into a fish pose. So different things. You can do folded blankets here. At any height, you can do a really thin roll. That will just come right along the bra line. That's where you will put it. Head will come back. So you've got a little bit of an extension, supported extension. You can do the same thing with a block. So you can put that block right here, right along the bra line. Hold that there as you rock back. Your shoulders should be off. Your head should be off. But some people in this one like a head support back here. So I'll show you real quick what that looks like. Okay. So no support, with support. And some people like a little higher, and that's okay too. You do what you can, and your knees can be bent. They can be extended long. This is a supported fish pose. Okay. Those of you that want the full, you're going to sit on your hands, rolling shoulders back. Okay. And then your legs are going to come long here. Now, I'm going to push my hands, my forearms, my elbows into the floor as I lift my chest up to the ceiling and let my head come back. Again, you can put a head support back here. If you don't need one, you don't need one. This is fish number 1, and my belly button is in. Fish number 2, you have to have strong core, strong back, healthy back. Your legs will come up here. If you're not strong enough in the core, this will go right into the low back, and it's very much uncomfortable. And option 3, flying fish. Okay, so take it where you can take it. And when you're ready, good. Carefully come out of there in the way that's best for your body. If you're still in that supported shoulder stand, bend the knees, take the feet down, lift the hips, remove that block. Everyone will take knees into the hips. Good. We're going to come into a supine twist basic, just a basic one. But before we do that, take the head and neck from side to side. Good. And then from here, just making sure that my space is clear. Good. Arms out to the side, knees in tabletop. I'm going to let my knees go over towards the left. Good. You can stay here. You can look to the ceiling. You can look to the right. And when you're ready, head back to center, one leg at a time, or using your abs to bring you back in. And when you're ready, knees are going to go over to the right. You can take your head center or look to the left. Good. And maybe ask yourself, do I use my words to empower and heal or uplift? or do I use them to hurt and bring down? What do you do with your words? How do you use your words? And when you're ready, good. We're going to take the head back to center, one leg at a time. We're using the abs for both and bringing this in. We're going to go into our Shavasana from here, short Shavasana. You can bring in any props of your choosing that you have that you want. You can let everything flop open and come long. You can put a bend in the knee. You can be on your side, you can be on your belly, be where you're comfortable. Good. Final thought I'll leave you is, do my thoughts, words, and actions align? Do my thoughts, words, and actions align? And we'll sink into the space for a few short moments. And taking some deep breaths here. Choose stillness or gently take head and neck from side to side. Choosing stillness or maybe bringing knees into the chest. Choosing to stay grounded or tucking the chin, lifting up that chest, full body hug. And choosing stillness, removing any props out of the way if you use any during Shavasana time. Taking legs long in front of you, arms long behind you, reaching full body stretch, point and flex the feet, bend and stretch the hands, twirling wrists and ankles in one direction, and then in the other. And then when you're ready, bending in both knees, and you choose rolling over to your right or left side, the side that works best for you in this moment. Taking all the time that you need here for pressing yourself up to a comfortable seat where we started our practice. Noticing how you feel. Coming back to that color, royal blue. And all of our affirmations. Fingertips to the side, palms turning up. Inhale, reach, reach, reach. Looking up there. Exhale, as you bring those hands down, stop those thumbs at the forehead for good and true thoughts. To the lips for good and kind words. And to the heart for open and loving heart. Knowing no effort on this mat is ever wasted, no gain is ever reversed. May you be safe, may you stay well. At the time of this recording, we've got a nice heat dome over most of the United States. Drink a lot of water, stay hydrated, stay cool. Thank you so much. Namaste.